Hello everyone and welcome to the IALD Annual Business Update. I am Christopher Knowlton, the Chief Executive Officer of the IALD. Joining me in this session, our executive leadership team, Mônica Lobo, the IALD President based in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Brandon Thrasher, Treasurer of the IALD based in San Francisco, USA, and Andrea Hartranft, the President-elect based in Maryland, USA. As 2023 draws to a close, we want to provide you with an update on the IALD's activities and the performance from 2022/23, and a glimpse into the exciting things that we have planned for 24. So to start us off, I'd like to invite Mônica to share her reflections on 2023.
Hello and welcome. Reflecting on these final weeks of my presidency, I am proud to see the association emerging from the pandemic intact and on track to continue the positive change the board and I have initiated. IALD is now poised to become even more relevant to its members and the broader community. Despite the remaining challenges, the dedicated work of our volunteers, supported by staff, has laid solid foundations for our future growth. Engaging with our passionate and energized community during the in-person meetings and discussions about the proposed vote in 2023 highlighted the heart of our association. Through the year, we will provide an overview of our achievements and what to express from IALD in 2024. Now, let's hear from Christopher for an update on the behind-the-scenes administration.
This year, IALD embarked on a significant project to upgrade the association's digital infrastructure, migrating our main database, communications platform, and website to an integrated provider. Though seemingly mundane as this is, this essential back office work is a critical first step in our technological transformation, paving the way for growth and efficiency. The outcome is a projected reduction in service costs by approximately $100,000 over 5 years, and allowing staff to automate many of our manual processes, focusing on supporting new programs and services. The improved website platform enhances access and functionality for members, volunteer leaders, and staff. For example, the newly launched community forums will allow members to engage in discussions and share resources in local groups or in special interest groups. Your user profile is now a centralized location for updating contact information, setting your communication preferences, and choosing visibility in the public directory of the website. Here you can see an example of your user profile, and this is where you can select from your preferences which communications you would like to receive. And you can also choose in the preferences section to be included in the directory. By default, you're invisible in the directory for data compliance reasons. But if you go in, you can select to become visible, and then you'll be searchable on the public website. Having revamped our technology platform, we are well positioned to initiate the Learn implementation and further enhance our global digital services. Now I'll pass to Brandon for an update on financial performance.
As many of you will know, the pandemic presented a significant set of challenges for IALD finances. As part of our drive to increase transparency in the organization, you can now find the IALD 990 tax forms on the website. For those less familiar with the US tax reporting system and layout of the 990, I've collated 3 key figures and plotted them here on this graph. This shows total revenue versus expenses and the balance of our reserve fund. Covering the period from 2018 to the period projected end of 2023, you can see the IALD relied on the reserve fund to make it through the turbulence of the pandemic. Corrective action by the board saw a significant reduction in expenses to ensure the viability of the organization. The 2022 performance was better than expected, with lower expenses and higher revenue, resulting in a net positive position. Turning to this year, you can see from the projected end of 2023, we are showing a deficit. We expect this deficit pattern to extend into the coming few years. There are 2 main reasons for this. LightFair, which pre-pandemic was 60 to 70% of revenue, is now on a biennial cadence. This means that the show will only produce revenue every 2 years. This change in cadence requires initial funding in fiscal year 23 and fiscal year 24. The leadership at IALD and our partners in LightFair also acknowledge that the show requires investment to improve its quality and relevance in the new cycle. This will impact the revenue distributions in the initial cycles of the show. As part of the board's overall strategy to diversify revenue streams and increase member benefits, IALD will need to invest in new programs and services. The associated revenue is projected to increase once these changes have been implemented. While none of us have a crystal ball to predict the future, there have been work done in forecasting and business planning to ensure that the reserves are used in the most efficient way possible and as soon as possible rebuilt. This is an area of focus for the board and I, which is reviewed regularly. We are implementing systems to provide early warning and reporting on performance. Now, to review some of the events we have run this year, I'll pass to Mônica.
Thank you, Brandon. And about the events, this year marked a significant achievements in IALD events. Globally, Enlighten Europe returned triumphantly in Berlin, Germany, followed by Enlighten Americas and Enlighten Asia, in Banff, Canada, and Tokyo, Japan, respectively. Between these three events, there were over 55 hours of content and reached nearly 1,000 attendees, bringing our community together around education and shared experiences. We continued our collaboration with Aldingsas, where IALD members led 40 students in developing conceptual designs through the installation process. The result is a series of installations drawing thousands of visitors to the Swedish town each year. In March, Chase the Dark returned to give all of our communities the opportunity to contribute to a global event in 24 hours, while also having a lot of fun. In May, we met in New York City for LightFair. As one-third owner of the show, IALD has been working hard to increase the quality and relevance of the show. We hosted the IALD Designery, where there were a number of stimulating conversations and presentations. We provided members to the Content Advisory Committee, as well as judges for the best booth competitions. New for the 2023 was the launch of the immersive lighting installations. This pilot program saw 7 studios work with manufacturers to create a number of installations across the show floor. This is a program we will be working with our partners to expand for 2025 show. Be sure to look out for communication next year, inviting design studios to participate. In 2023, we celebrated the 4th Annual International Lighting Design Awards. With over 250 submissions from across the world, we understand the desire to celebrate these special awards in person. This year, we trialed in-person watch parties with 11 cities taking on the challenge, a format that provided so successful that we would like to continue with remote events, even when the awards return to an in-person awards presentation next year. Entries for the awards will open this year, and we will provide more information in the new year about the 2025 cycle and the timing so that you can plan further ahead. Recently, at Enlighten Americas, I had the great privilege to induct a new member into the College of Fellows. Gustavo Avelis was recognized and presented his award in Banff, Canada. Congratulations, Gustavo. And now I would like to invite our next president, the talented and gifted Andrea Hartranft, to continue this presentation. Welcome, Andrea.
Thanks, Mônica. Mônica, you've been our guiding light. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, not that you're off the hook just yet, for your vision and your grace. You've helped set the IALD on a strong and resilient path for the future. And I am so grateful for your mentorship over the past year and for your friendship. All right, elections. Earlier this year, the elections process was conducted for the Board of Directors and Membership Committee. It will be my pleasure to see continued service from Jared Widmer and Carla Wilkins on the board, and I look forward to welcoming Susanna Gilbard, Kevin Shaw, and Claudia Ramos as new board members. After an incredible amount of years of dedicated service from Aram Eben, Rachel Fitzgerald is assuming the role as chair of the membership committee, and we will welcome Beha Sivaprasad to the group. 2024 is going to be an important year for IALD, and I'm excited to see as many of you as possible in person. To kick off the year in January, we have Light Middle East in Dubai, followed by Light Plus Build Frankfurt in March. Enlighten Europe will take place in June in host city London, UK. Finally, in October, Enlighten Americas will take place in beautiful Rancho Bernardo in San Diego. I am also excited that after 7+ years of work, we have started the implementation of our new online learning platform that will launch in the new year. This collaboration between IALD members and the LIRC will bring high quality content to members, and I'm personally excited to see how the program develops in the coming years. All right, volunteers. Learn is just one example of the commitment and dedication put into our organization by our volunteers. I would like to take a moment to recognize them and thank them for their work. Starting with the IALD board. Thank you for your leadership and commitment to the organization. Many members take meetings very early in the morning or very late at night and bring their best to understand and discuss complex subject matter. So thank you all for your service. To and rigor with which you diligently review every application. It is no easy task, and the ability to discharge your responsibilities has been and remains critical to our organization. So thank you. To our LIRC co-chairs, along with your subcommittees and working group colleagues, I thank you. Your efforts in enhancing relations across the industry and initiatives to support IALD are remarkable and are a beacon to the organization about how, through collaboration and respect, we can create value for all in our collective efforts. One note, another group of volunteers that are working tirelessly are those on the Education Trust. They will provide an update on their progress next year. And with absolute gratitude to our frontline leaders. Located worldwide, you are often the face of IALD and are the link to each community. You can see here the huge number of individuals that contribute to the organization's success. You are key members of our community, and on behalf of the whole organization, I want to thank you. You find time to run events, fundraise, engage in discussions, and give your community a place to come together. And finally, to everyone who participates, our members, without you, all of this effort is in vain. We appreciate you, and we are looking forward to how we can continue to improve our offerings to you and make IALD the best lighting design association in the world. Back to you, Christopher.
Yeah, now I think it's
Mônica, I'm sorry.
It's my time to close this update. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Brandon and Christopher, for joining me today in this update. As this is my last official public gathering as IALD president, I want to express my gratitude for the outstanding work of this great executive committee, our amazing staff, brilliant board, dedicated membership committee, creative and restless coordinators, LRC collaborators, and each one of you members and volunteers that have trusted on us. Your trust is our fuel, and we are working hard to deserve that. The future is bright. Now, if there are any questions from our live guests, Christopher will help us read them and answer.
Yep, so you can type those into the Q&A section if you have any, and we can answer those. If not, feel free to leave us. You can disconnect from the meeting. We will be posting this as a recording so that other people can access it in different time zones, etc. So thank you very much for making the time to participate. If there are any questions, we will answer those now.